Hello, beautiful soul. Good afternoon. I hope you are well and enjoying your day. The sun has seemed to disappear behind the clouds, but it's still nice and dry here. So I hope you can enjoy a little bit more time outdoors still. So welcome to your session this afternoon. I am going to offer you the full yogic breath for our 10-minute session today. So this is a 3-part breath, which we ultimately pull into one breath. So a great way to find a deep breath, and a breath that hopefully you'll be able to bring into your asana practice, or any time that you might be meditating or doing any kind of exercise really. It's a fantastic way to take a really nice, full, deep breath. I always mention that when we are sitting down for too long, especially if we're sitting at desks, working, hunching over computers, we tend to breathe only into the top of our chest, and this can make us feel more stressed than we necessarily are in reality. But also it's not the best use of our lung capacity and our body. So rather than just using our chest, we're going to use our chest and our ribs and our belly. And one of the things that makes a pose, an asana in yoga, is being able to find a full, steady breath during each pose. So I invite you to try this breath during your next asana practice, and see if you can find the depth and the breadth of breath on each time that you hold an yoga asana. So the full yogic breath we can split down into 3 parts, like I said. So it's bringing the breath into the chest, and then we bring the breath into the ribs and allow the ribs to expand, and then we bring the breath into the belly and allow that to expand and open. So we can begin finding the awareness of our breath in these different places. And in time we draw it all together, so it's one nice deep breath in where our inhalation expands forwards, backwards, side to side, 360 in our body. So we're really using as much of our body as we possibly can during our breath. So first and foremost, come to a comfortable position. You can do this standing. You could even hold a yoga pose if you wanted to, just to try this out in your asana. But if you would prefer, come to a seated position. But see if you can find a position that feels as comfortable as possible without you leaning against anything, so that you can really find as much space as possible that comes around your body, especially your upper body. So when you have come to a comfortable position, allow your eyes to close or the gaze just to soften, just so that you become a little bit more aware of your breath. And without changing it at all, just allow your natural breath rhythm to come into the forefront of your mind. So you probably will be breathing through your nose, unless it's blocked for whatever reason, in which case you may be breathing through your mouth. And you might notice that it comes into the chest a little bit more than down into the belly. And at the moment, we're not trying to change our breath at all. We're just noticing how it is. So notice the place on your body where you feel moves as you breathe in and out. Maybe, like I said, it's in your chest. Maybe you feel your ribs moving. Maybe the beginning and the end of the breath feels very centralized in your heart space. And then notice the depth of the breath. Again, not trying to change anything, just noticing how deep or how shallow or somewhere in between your breath is. Now notice the pace of your breath. Are you breathing quickly, slowly, or somewhere in between. And then just to take a couple of shoulder rolls, just to open up the chest a little bit more, get some movement. Maybe we take a little bit of a sway, just allowing some movement into the torso, maybe a twist. And then resettling back to a still-ish posture. So, allow your eyes to close back down if they've opened, or allow your gaze to soften away from something specific. Let's bring the breath into your chest to start off with. You might find it helpful with the feedback if you press your hands gently on your chest, on your sternum, maybe even on your collarbones. And breathe into that space. So really feel your chest rise and fall as you breathe in and out. And you're probably unlikely to feel like you're getting a really deep breath here. That's totally understandable because we're not really breathing into the full capacity of our lungs. So just breathing deeply, as deep as you can, into your chest. Just notice how that feels. Notice the rise and the fall of the chest. Rising on the inhale. And falling on the exhale. Perhaps slight expansion forwards as well. You might notice underneath your hands. And then gently moving your hands to the sides of your ribs. So you're kind of clasping your rib cage underneath your hands. But you're not pressing too much, just a gentle press into the ribs. And then let's direct our breath into the ribs. So as you inhale, feel them expand beneath your hands. Expanding open and out as you inhale. And then as you exhale, just notice as they soften back in together. You might notice that your ribs specifically feel more prominent under your hand as you inhale. And then it kind of smooths and softens as you exhale. But notice as the ribs kind of move forwards and out and also back. You might want to place your hands onto the back of your ribs as well to see how that feels. Just notice the breath in the ribs. Maybe you find a little bit more depth comes naturally breathing down into this place. Maybe you can still feel your chest rising as well. And then when you're ready, drawing the hands gently down to your belly. Kind of around your belly button area, maybe one on either side of the belly button. And see if you can draw the breath down here. Now this is a little bit more tricky to do. So really pulling that breath in and down into your belly. The belly will expand and press against your hands as you inhale. And then it will soften back in on itself as you exhale. Now I've got some jeans on today, some high-waisted jeans, so I can really feel my belly a little bit further up today and less movement underneath. So you might be the same, or maybe you can feel the depths of your belly really pressing against your hands. So we've found all three places. Now our full yogic breath is going to combine all three. So you might find that to begin with, you want to take 3 inhalations, some shorter inhalations together. So 1, 2, 3, and then a long exhale just to help you build the depth of your breath. So as you inhale, breathe into your belly, breathe into your chest, breathe into your ribs, and then breathe into the belly. And allow the body to soften. If that feels a bit more challenging, try it the other way, breathing down into your belly to start off with, then breathing into the ribs, then breathing into the chest, and exhaling all together. And then you find which one feels best, either starting in the chest or starting into the belly. And you can take those 3 separate inhales and 1 long exhale. Or see if you can allow the breath to become 1 long inhalation. So maybe you start down into the belly and exhale out. But really trying to expand all 3 areas as you breathe in, getting the biggest, deepest breath that you ever have. And then exhale all the way out. So I invite you to carry on practicing that full yogic breath for the rest of your day or whenever you're watching this. And see when you next do a yoga asana class, maybe even with me tomorrow, to try and bring that breath into everything that you're doing, every pose that you're in. See if you can take that 3-part full expansion breath every single time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon or wherever you are watching this. Sending you lots of love and gratitude from my heart to yours. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye.